Yo, it's your boy J Bess, and welcome back to the Straight to the Point podcast, season 2, episode 3. On today's episode, I will be giving my best 5 plays of week 1, some of y'all's favorite segment from last year. Then I added a new segment that I'm going to call my week 1 dogs. All right, these are some players that I think performed at a very high level this week. And then I will talk about the Aaron Rodgers situation. Okay, that's very devastating. And then I'll talk about my reaction to week 1 and my Thursday night football picks. All right, so today's episode should move very smoothly and should be very quick. As always, I want to thank God for waking me up this morning and allowing me to talk about sports, which is something that I love to do. And without Him, I would not be here right now. So let's go ahead and let's get straight to the point real quick. If y'all noticed, I did say that this is episode 3. All right. Episode 3, the original episode 3 that me and Logan did last Friday, we didn't get a chance to post it. Okay, I got busy, school got in the way, etc., etc. So I did not get a chance to post that episode. The episode had our week 1 picks on it. So to me, there's no point in posting the episode anymore because week 1 is over, right? So there's no point in watching that video. But we did do our top 10 players in the NFL. We did do a segment up there that I'm going to just make it into a short video, and then I will post it on YouTube with just our top 10 players in the NFL. Okay, so y'all be on the lookout for that. But we're just going to X that episode out, and we're going to make this one episode 3. All right, then the next one tomorrow with me and Logan will be 4. So, yes, I did say tomorrow, and today is Thursday. All right, so I'm shooting this episode today. All right, because I feel behind. Like I said, schoolwork stuff got in the way, so I'm doing this episode real quick today with Thursday Night Football tonight, and then me and Logan will post our next episode tomorrow because he's on the Friday episodes where we give our weekly picks and then talk about a couple of hot topics. So today I'm back solo, and we about to get this thing started with some of y'all's favorite segment from last year. I got a lot of feedback about this, got a lot of buzz about my best 5 plays, BESS 5 plays of the week. These are basically my top 5 plays of the week. All right, and as always, for those of y'all that don't know, I do give an honorable mention, okay? Because I do think it's sometimes hard to just pick 5 plays. So week 1, let's get it. Our honorable mention is Hunter Henry. Okay, Hunter Henry, tight end for the Patriots. He made a great one-handed catch. All right, this game was fairly close. All right, it's because of plays like this that were being made by players like Hunter Henry. Okay, doing not the normal routine play. Okay, everybody can't just reach out and grab this ball with one hand. So I gotta give him a shout out. You made the honorable mention for the week, Hunter Henry. But next, I gotta go with Quay Walker. Okay, Quay Walker took this pick to the crib. All right, and he didn't just do it just a catch and run down the sideline. Right, he ran to one side of the field, bounced off a tackle, went to the other side of the field, made a nice little juke move. Looked like a running back out there, right? A running back playing linebacker. Okay, second year man out of Georgia. Made a great play against the Bears. That's my number 5 play. Number 4, I gotta go with Bijan Robinson. We all heard the hype coming out of college, starting running back at Texas, came to the league. Don't agree with the Atlanta Falcons drafting him, but they did get a stud, they did get a baller, they did get a playmaker, and he showed it on this play, breaking ankles, breaking tackles, and then getting into the end zone. So he will be a highlight reel in the ATL. Number 3, I got to go with Christian McCaffrey. Okay, Christian McCaffrey, this play right here was devastating to me because I thought we had a chance. Right, we scored right before halftime at 7-20. Then they get the ball first. I'm thinking, okay, we got momentum. Defense get a stop, but nope. Christian McCaffrey hits the hole, make a nice spin move, and take it to the grip. And you know what? I want to give a shout out to what's my man, Ray McLeod and Brandon Ayuk for making these 2 great blocks. Brandon Ayuk made the first block where he just blew up one of our secondary players. Can't think of who it was right now. And then Ray McLeod sprinting downfield and blocking Patrick Peterson. That's just a great all-around team play. Great blocking, great job by Christian McCaffrey making the play that elite running backs make, and then his 2 receivers helping him get blocks down the field. That is number 3. Number 2, I got to go with the Garrett Wilson catch. Okay, Garrett Wilson made probably the catch of the year already. Mind you, this pass was a bad pass. He threw this ball on a fade route on the in the end zone. You got to throw it to the back pylon or a back shoulder. You have to. Okay, back pylon, back shoulder, and give your receiver a chance to make this play. Zach Wilson threw this ball on the inside, right where the corner was. But Garrett Wilson reached his hand, kind of snatched the ball back, kind of batted it back to himself, bobbled with it a little bit, and came up with the catch. This is an elite receiver that I preached in my first couple episodes, that him and A-Rod will tear the league up. Unfortunately, A-Rod is gone. But Zach Wilson now still has a great playmaker at the receiver position that could make his job easier. Number one, I got to go with the walk-off touchdown in the same game. Walk-off touchdown, Xavier Gibson, undrafted rookie who just made the team not too long ago, right? He almost didn't even make the team. He comes in, gets a punt return in overtime to walk it off on 9-11 in New York. Come on now, can't get any better than that. Okay, great play, great job putting his foot in the ground, making a great move against the other side of the field. You notice he slowed down a little bit, let his teammate get up and get that block. That was very crucial. And then cuts back inside. The punter didn't want no parts of that. Got into the end zone. Great way to end that game. Great way to make your name noticeable. Right now, everybody knows who Xavier Gibson is. He'll be forever known as the walk-off punt return in overtime on 9/11 in New York. Can't get any better than that. But that is my best 5 plays of week 1. All right, and my best 5 plays will always be on the Tuesdays episode. Like I said, this week is kind of jumbled up. Today's Thursday, but normally when I do my Tuesday episode, I will do my best 5 plays of the previous week. All right, next is a new segment that I just came up with. I'm gonna start doing called my Week 1 Dawgs. Okay, this is when I'm gonna highlight and give recognition to people who balled out this weekend. Okay, but I like to call them Dawgs. All right, who had dog performances this week? I gotta go with T.J. Watt from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, look, he is the best edge rusher in the league, hands down, no questions asked. I don't want to hear about Michael Parsons. I don't want to hear about Nick Bosa. I definitely don't want to hear about Myles Garrett. This man right here is coming for the Defensive Player of the Year award. He had 3 sacks and a forced fumble. All right, normally 3 sacks and a forced fumble would help your team win a game. Right, unfortunately, he wasn't ready, got blown out. But his performance did not go unnoticed, even in a blowout loss. Next, I got to go with Tyreek Hill. Okay, 11 catches, 215, and 2 touchdowns. Y'all, that is greatness right there. Tyreek Hill is somebody that I don't necessarily view as a top 2, top 3 receiver, right? I still think it is Justin Jefferson or Devontae Adams, however you want to put it, Cooper Kupp. But he is making a case that he can be not necessarily top 5, a top 3 receiver, but the most dangerous weapon in all of football. Okay, between him and Travis Kelce, we'll have that debate another day. But I do think Tyreek Hill is making a case for himself of being a very explosive, very dangerous player that we all know him as the Cheetah. All right, but then who is throwing him the ball? Tua. So Tua is also a week 1 dog. Okay, Tua, 466 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, but had a player rating of 110, passer rating, sorry, of 110. All right, Tua, somebody not that high on. If you remember in the episode when I talked about we did a playoff pyramid or something like that, my NFL pyramid, I talked about Tua. Not only his health, but him as a player, I just don't fear him. Right, I don't fear him whenever I see him play. When he plays against my team, I don't necessarily get scared. Okay, it's certain players that you fear. Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, right? Deshaun Watson from Houston. Okay, these players that you fear, and those are the quarterbacks that I put at the top. But Tua, if he keeps playing like this, he's going to definitely make a case to be in that conversation of QB play. Chris Olave, okay, receiver for the Saints. Love his performance. And guess what? He's on my fantasy team. All right, so he did me a huge favor. 8 catches for 112 yards. Michael Thomas is back in the mix, but Chris Olave has definitely solidified himself as wide receiver 1. And him and Derek Carr and their chemistry came off to a hot start to begin this season. Like I said, 8 catches, 112 yards. Great job, Chris Olave. Another week 1 dog, Calvin Ridley. Okay, for those of y'all that follow my Instagram, I made a video. Will Calvin Ridley be a top 10 receiver this year? You know what? I'm going to scratch that, and I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say he will be, at the end of this year, a top 5 receiver in terms of statistics. Right? He might not necessarily be top 5 talent-wise, but he will have a top 5 season this upcoming year. You can book it. I've seen enough already. Yes, don't overreact, but him and T-Law already have a chemistry. I expect T-Law to get better as the year go, and I expect Calvin really to get better as the year go as well. Just came off a 1-year suspension, but guess what, y'all? He is back. And then last but not least, got to give my week 1 dog to Jordan Whitehead. All right, Jordan Whitehead had 3 interceptions. 3. All right, his prior season high was 2. Okay, the most he ever had in the season was 2. He had 3 in one night. He was a ball hawk that night. Yes, people can say Josh Allen threw terrible passes, but he went and he got him. All right, so I give him. I think he has elevated from being just when he was in Tampa. All we knew him was as a hard hitting safety, but now he's shown that ball hawk ability, and I think we got to put some respect on his name because 3 interceptions don't happen every single week. So great job, Jordan Whitehead. All right, but that's it for my week one dogs. Like I said, my best 5 plays, my week one dogs will be a weekly thing that I do on my Tuesday episodes. All right. Next, unfortunately, I gotta break my silence on the whole Aaron Rodgers situation. Okay, so coming into this year, if y'all remember when I made my playoff pyramid and my NFL pyramid, this Jets team was at the top. Okay, Aaron Rodgers coming to this team that was 7-10 last year, had a great defense but bad offensive play. When you add Aaron Rodgers, who to me to this day is a top 5 quarterback in the league, all right, just 2 years ago he won back-to-back MVPs. All right, then he had this last year with Green Bay with new receivers that led the league in drops. Right, led the league in drops. He just did not have a good year all around. Yes, he didn't go to OTAs, and I blamed him for that, saying, "Look, you got to get the chemistry with your receivers. Why are you missing team time? Right, time to build your team." He did that. Okay, he made a bad decision and paid for it throughout the year. But I don't think we should look at him as a player that's going on a decline, right? We shouldn't look at that because I think last year was just bad from start to finish. Then going into this year, he leaves Green Bay. He comes to the Jets. He chose this team for a reason. Just like when Tom Brady went to the Bucks, Aaron Rodgers identified a team that was a QB away from being special, a QB away from being a Super Bowl contender. And when he came to this team, a lot of people said it's just hype. Right? I don't necessarily believe in it, but I believe. I really did. And Monday was a tragedy in terms of what happened to Aaron Rodgers, right? Tearing his Achilles on the first drive of the game. He barely played. I don't think he played a minute, or I don't think he played 2 minutes, something like that. And he tears his Achilles on the first drive. It was a tragedy, right? It was bad. But if anything, Monday night proves my point that this team is a Super Bowl caliber team. That this team was going to win the AFC if Aaron Rodgers would not have gotten hurt. You look at this defense, okay? This defense made Josh Allen look crazy. Made us question. The next day, the question was, is Josh Allen still a top 5 quarterback? The question was, is Josh Allen? Josh Allen was headlining for how bad he played, but you got to put respect on that defense because that defense caused it. They was in his face the whole game. Quentin Williams, Jermaine Johnson, they brought pressure. Carl Lawson, one of their best D linemen, didn't even play. All right, then you heard names like Quincy Williams, right? Quentin Williams' brother. He was all over the field making tackles. C.J. Mosley doing his thing. Sauce being a lockdown corner he is. DJ Reed on the other side being a good corner. Jordan Whitehead showing that playmaking ability at safety. This defense is deep, all right, and they showed it the other night. They was down 13-3 at halftime and was able to come back into that game because they caused turnovers and they shut down Josh Allen and who prior to yesterday or prior to Monday, sorry, was the top 5 QB. So Monday proved my point. What I've been saying this whole time. People thought I was crazy for saying the Jets are going to win the Super Bowl or going to the Super Bowl at least. Where I said the Eagles might end up winning it, but the defense is elite. Aaron Rodgers coming to this team, first of all, at face value, he's already better than Zach Wilson, Mike White, and Joe Flacco, who they had last year. And I was expecting him to have a big year, but he didn't even have to. All he had to do was take care of the ball, let the run game do what it did, which was Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook. Y'all saw it the other night. Okay, Breece Hall making huge runs, hitting holes. The run offense is good. Now, the pass blocking was a little shaky. Okay, the first couple plays Aaron Rodgers was in there, he was scrambling, okay, running for his life. But I do think over the course of the game, it would have gotten better. Over the course of the year, it would have gotten better. People can't sit here and blame that injury on the O-line because actually I learned the next day when I was watching one of my sports shows, I want to say it was First Take, when Aaron Rodgers made that 3-step drop, it was the ball was supposed to come out of his hands. Okay, the offensive lineman was designed to cut block. And that's what he did. He cut Leonard Floyd, and Leonard Floyd, that's to keep his hands from going up, right? If I want to throw a quick route, I don't need my D lineman batting down the ball. So his hands went down to protect himself from being cut. And then next thing you know, Aaron Rodgers held onto the ball because I guess something wasn't there. and that allowed Leonard Floyd to get there, make the tackle, and he ended up getting hurt. So we can't blame the line for that. And going into the season, yes, the O line was a question, but I knew they would have got their act together by week 7, week 6. You know what I'm saying? They would have gotten by up until then. Then the O line gets straight passing wise, running wise, they're perfectly fine, right? So I think this team was in a great position. Like I feel bad for New York Jet fans, I really do, but I feel worse for NFL fans in general. We missed out on something special. We did a great defense led by an elite quarterback with elite weapons. Garrett Wilson, I just showed y'all, best 5 plays in week 1. He made that catch off a bad throw. Aaron Rodgers not giving you bad throws. So Garrett Wilson would have had the year of his career this year. And now we got to wait. We got to wait to see it. All right, Aaron Rodgers made a post the other day on Instagram talking about how he wants to, saying that he will rise again. He will yet rise again. I do believe he's going to come back. That Achilles tear, I think it's like an 8 to 12 month recovery. And mind you, he's 40, right? I think he's 39 going on 40. So it's going to be a long season, a long recovery, a long rehab. And I really, man, y'all want to talk about heartbreak. Like, that was definitely the second worst day in New York history. Okay, 9/11 is number one, no doubt about it. But number 2 is Aaron Rodgers. Because Aaron Rodgers came into this Jets franchise and gave them hope. He gave me hope. I really, like y'all really had me up here. I was cheering for the Jets on Monday night. Like, that was my own team, right? Because that's just my expectation, how my expectations are for them. That it was a given, right? It was a prediction whenever before the season started. But Monday night clarified to me that this was a Super Bowl team, and I want to do this. I want to do it so bad, and I'm gonna do it anyways. The ring this year, whoever won the ring this year, is a Mickey Mouse ring. This is like y'all call LeBron James ring in the bubble Mickey Mouse. This one is very Mickey Mouse. Okay, because the number one contender in my opinion. And yes, after Monday night, if Aaron Rodgers would have played, I would have came on the show and said, you know what, forget the Eagles. I have the Jets win it all this year. That's how good the defense looked, right? This year ring is Mickey Mouse. I'm sorry, it is. I think Mahomes dodged a bullet. I think Trevor Lawrence dodged a bullet. I think Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, all these quarterbacks in the AFC dodged a bullet. Okay, because now you're just going against a great defense and a subpar quarterback, Zach Wilson. All right, Zach Wilson. I love what he said in the press conference talking about how it's time for him to step up and take over. But my man, you can't. You just can't do it. All right, I really hate to say it. Now, could Zach Wilson have learned a little bit from Aaron Rodgers? Maybe. But the likelihood of him making a huge jump from last year to this year is very small, in my opinion. I just feel bad because this is the opportunity wasted for the New York Jets franchise. I'm praying for a speedy recovery for A-Rod. I know that's my dog. And it really hurt in the beginning. I'm wrapping this up right now. It hurt in the beginning because there's only 2 quarterbacks that I claim in the history of football. That I claim. And I'm a ride or die for them, 1,000%. Even when they play bad, I'm a ride or die for them. And these 2 are people that I looked up to when I played quarterback growing up. Cam Newton and Aaron Rodgers. Those are the only 2 quarterbacks I would ever claim in my life. Those are the only 2 quarterbacks that you can ever say, oh, that's Jay Best, man. That's Jay Best, dog. That's Jay Best player. You know what I'm saying? Those 2 players. And for a second, I thought A-Rod was done. I thought he was about to hang it up because of that injury. So I thought he was going to go ahead and just retire sometime later on down the line, right? But he did announce that. I think he announced that he's coming back, right? And he made that post on Instagram talking about I will rise again. So praying for a speedy recovery. And next year, let me tell y'all something. The league is in trouble. Okay, put all your money in on the Jets to win next year because A-Rod coming back with a vengeance. I promise y'all. All right, he's about to prove a lot of naysayers wrong this year, but wait till next year. He's gonna be back better than ever, more rested, and it's gonna be scary for the league next year. All right, but next I do want to talk about my reaction to Week 1. Spoiler alert: there is no reaction. Okay, the reason why I named this part of the show "Don't Overreact" is because I don't have a reaction to Week 1. Let me explain. Week 1 to me, Week 1 through 5, honestly, you cannot overreact to your team. You can't, no matter what the record is at that point. Because teams yes, it might be mostly the same team from last year, but it takes time to get that train going. It takes time to get things getting smoother and everything like that. It takes time. Okay, your team don't just come out week one um, perfect. They don't. Like the 49ers beating the Steelers, prime example. The 49ers, I do believe that they're that good, right? And I don't want to overreact and say, because anybody can say, okay, the 49ers about to win the Super Bowl this year. I can come up here and say, oh, with that performance, they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. My Super Bowl pick was the Eagles. The Eagles only won by 5 points. So I could easily come up here and say, oh, the 49ers. I'm taking 49ers over the Eagles. No. It's week one. The Eagles play a little rusty. The 49ers played great. All right. But I do think that the 49ers' dominance had a lot to do, not just with them being good, because they are a good team, but it had a lot to do with the Steelers playing the way they did. Right? Same thing with the Giants and the Cowboys. The Cowboys won by 40 points. That will never happen again the rest of the season. I promise you that. And it only happened because the Giants are not that bad. Like, if you really watch that game and say, oh, I knew the Giants would suck this year, you're lying to yourself. Because they don't suck. Okay, they're like an average to little bitty above average team. All right, the reason why the game got out of hand like that is because they made mistakes. They made mistakes that led to points for the Cowboys. It's as simple as that. The O line played terrible. The O line in week one looked like the worst O line in the league, but they're not the worst O line in the league. This is why I say in general, you just can't overreact to week one. All right, and I don't react to week one because this week I really was able to sit back, relax, and enjoy watching football without having to analyze this and analyze that. It was just sitting back, chilling, watching football. That's how week one should be every year for football. You should never ever overreact. Like Michael Parsons, for example, he came out and said on his podcast that he's going to get ready, Dallas, because we're taking this thing to the Super Bowl. He's reacting from the week one performance. He thinks that they're going to do that to every team. No, you're not. You're not going to score 40 on every team and hold them to zero. I promise you that. All right, so that's just a prime example of overreaction, and I just don't do it. Last year on this show, I don't know what I said after the week one game. I really didn't go back and watch it from what I said after week one, but the only thing I can say after week one is for any team, anybody that watched the team, week one is a fill out game. You're filling out who you are, you're getting your identity. That's the first couple of weeks of the season. So don't overreact, is all I'm gonna say. All right, last year the Steelers beat the Bengals, who just came off a Super Bowl appearance. Right, they just went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Rams. We beat them opening day last year. I didn't overreact at all. I knew we was not where we needed to be. I knew that game was way too close. I knew that we was just not that great because you can easily say, all right, the Patriots. Oh, the Patriots going to be a very, very good team this year. I think the Eagles just play a little sloppy because the Eagles beat them 25 to 20. All right, so one can say the Patriots are here this year, and then like me, I can say, let's wait and see. So it's not a lot of analytic things that I want to tell y'all about week one because I just don't want to overreact to what I saw in week one. Now week three, week four, we can start talking more about each team, what they're doing wrong, etc., etc. And I'll bring it up again, the Steelers. I'm not as a fan, I'm not overreacting to week one. Like I see Steelers fans posting things on social media saying, through the hard times, I'm gonna still be there for my team. What hard times? We're 0-1. We lost one game. Relax. Everybody, calm down. If your team lost in week one, just relax. Let's wait and see. Unless you're like the Cardinals, a team like that, you have no hope, right? Because you just know the situation. But the Steelers who lost week one, the Giants who lost week one, the Broncos who lost week one, right? These teams that lost in week one, to me, just don't overreact. All right, that's all I'm gonna ask. All right, so that's why I said don't. That's why I named the segment "Don't Overreact." That's my reaction to week one. You just don't overreact. All right, and then just to make sure that y'all don't think I'm being a hypocrite about the Jets. I just had a couple minutes ago. I was talking about how good the Jets look. I expected the Jets defense to look like that. The Jets defense last year was a top 5 defense. So they proved that this year they're gonna be a top 5 defense as well, and they went against Josh Allen. All right, so I'm not necessarily overreacting to that. That's what I expected. That's what I expected. That's what happened. Nobody expected the Steelers to get beat like they did. Nobody expected the Giants to get beat like they did. Nobody expected the Cowboys to win like they did. Nobody expected the 49ers to win like they did. That's why I'm saying don't overreact, because none of us expected it. So don't go around saying, oh, I knew the Cowboys were a Super Bowl team. Oh, the 49ers about to win this year. Don't do that. Okay? The Eagles. Don't go around saying, oh, the Eagles looking shaky this year. I don't know. That's that. You can't overreact to week one. All right. My last segment, like I said, today's episode, 25 minutes, should be done under 30 minutes. But I'm gonna go ahead and do my Thursday night football pick. Okay. My Thursday night football pick tonight is the Eagles and the Vikings. All right. Tonight's game, I don't expect it to be a good game. Not necessarily saying a blowout, but I'm saying like maybe a two possession kind of game, because the Vikings defense to me just isn't, even going into this year. To me, they're not that good, right? And just to um, reemphasize what I said a couple minutes ago, overreacting. I can react to what I saw last week and inference what's going to happen this week, especially whenever the Vikings defense didn't look so good against a Bucks offense that I don't think is that good with Baker. The Vikings defense struggled with them because they lost to the Bucks. So I can only imagine they're gonna struggle against the Eagles, and Jalen Hurts opening night at home, trying to get on that Super Bowl run. I think last week, I think they started out slow. A whole off season, Bill Belichick had a chance to game plan and scheme up for that game against the Eagles, right? So I think that's why the Eagles struggled a lot, because Bill Belichick is just that guy. Especially you give him a whole off season to plan the game plan for your team's going to struggle, right? So I think the Eagles struggled against a great defensive minded coach. Mac Jones looked pretty good against that defense, but I expect the Eagles defense and offense to look better tonight at home, primetime football. I do expect them to show us flashes of why a lot of people, including myself, picked them to go back to the Super Bowl. So tonight, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Eagles to win it. Like I said, not a blowout, but definitely like a two possession game. So I'm looking at like a 27-17, 30-20, something like that. Maybe even like a 20-7, something a very close two possession game. A comfortable win, but not necessarily a blowout. All right, but y'all, that is it for today. I appreciate y'all for watching Straight to the Point podcast, and I will get things back in order. I will get things back rolling again. Like I said, took a little bump in the road. All right, I got busy with things outside of school, and then not only that, but school as well. All right, but I'm about to get this thing back on track. My next episode will have the one and only Logan McDougal up there, and we'll be doing our week 2 picks. And I want to see his reaction to week 1, and we'll also talk about a couple of hot topics. All right, but that is it for today. It's your boy Jay Bess. Much love. Enjoy the game tonight. Please watch us tomorrow, and then go into week 2 after watching the Straight to the Point podcast. And much love. Y'all stay blessed. I'm out.